right now are to keep working on IXL or to follow along with us working on today's assignment. So those are your only two choices. Okay. So I think I wanted to remind you what the word reciprocal is. So I think we talked about it. We talked about the flip. But just to be clear, the reciprocal means you are going to flip it, right? So the reciprocal means flip. Means flip the fraction. So for number 13, for finding the reciprocal, the first thing we're going to do, well, we can factor first, then simplify if we want, or vice versa. It doesn't matter, but we are still going to simplify. So the reciprocal, we flip that fraction, 2q squared minus 13 over 3q squared. There's actually not anything I can't factor this. There's a q in this term, but not in this one, so I can't take a q out of everything. Yeah, there's no other, so that is literally all you have to do for the reciprocal. These are factoring. This one you have to factor first, and then flip it. If we have time and we want to do that one together, we will. I'm going to go to the back page. Okay. 19 and 21 and 23. If you're planning on doing the homework at all, you may want to tune in with us because these are the more challenging ones. So 19, 21, 23. 21 and 23 are temporal. We're going to do 23 together, the word problem. Who else is doing the homework with me? Okay, so let's flip over at 23 and talk about what this question is asking. It says your friend runs for x squared minus 225 seconds at a rate of 1 over 2x minus 30 meters per second. How far does your friend run? That sounds stupid, right? That sounds like no one would ever talk that way. So let's replace these weird numbers for a second to see what they're actually talking about. So this says your friend runs for some amount of seconds. So let's say 100 seconds, right? He runs for 100 seconds. And instead of saying 1 over 2x minus 30 meters per second, let's say he runs 5 meters per second, okay? So if he's running for 100 seconds at 5 meters per second, what do I have to do to figure out how far he ran? What do you think? Jacob, what do you think? He ran for 100 seconds. That's how long he ran from start to finish. He ran 5 meters per second. Okay, well, let's think of it this way. Do you drive yet? Okay. Are you not, you don't have your permit yet? Permit, okay. So if you're driving 50 miles an hour and you drive 2 hours, 2 miles per hour, how many miles have you driven? 50 miles per hour. 50 miles in 1 hour, 50 miles in the next hour. 100, right? So you're multiplying, right? So if I said you drove for 50 miles per hour, what did I say the opposite? Okay. Did I say 50 miles for 2 hours? No, I said you drove 50 miles per hour for 2 hours, right? So that would be 100 miles, right? If I wanted it, you could do it the opposite. So that's why it's helpful to plug in regular numbers here and think about that, okay? If you were driving 50 miles per hour and you drove 3 hours, how far would you have gone? Right, so you're multiplying. That's what I want you to see. So while these are really weird, if you think about it in normal numbers, you can realize that, oh yeah, all I'm doing here is multiplying. So 100 times 5 means you've run 500 meters, right? 100 times 5. Does that make sense? Okay. So here, just because they're weird numbers, we still are going to do the same operation. So it's going to be x squared minus 225 times 1 over 2x minus 30. This was not a fraction, so we make it a fraction. So now we get into these weird rational numbers, so now we got to follow our other rules. We want to factor. It does not ask us to give any excluded values, so we're not going to. We're going to factor this. This is the difference of squares. Remember how to factor a difference of squares? So what's this going to be? Good. And that's over 1. And now we need to factor the denominator and the other. So how would that factor?
2 times x minus 15.
And so now we're going to cross cancel the same binomials. I've got a 2 here, but nothing I can factor out. So now it's going to be top times top over bottom times bottom. And the thing about this, you have to know that he's running meters. So you label that with meters. Your answer is a distance or a length. Does that make sense? So if they told you, Jacob, that he was running at 5 meters per second and he ran 100 meters, how long did he run? Then you'd be dividing, right? So that's like saying if you were driving, okay, you drove for 2 hours and your distance was 100 miles. What was your speed? How fast did you drive per hour? And then you would divide. Does that make sense? So you could easily have a problem where you divided. Just got to think about what this one is asking. Okay? They give you a rate and the amount of time you ran that rate. They're asking you how far you ran. If they give you the amount of time and the distance, they're asking you to find the rate. Okay? Distance equals rate times time would help you. All right, are you ready for an ugly one? So I'm going to do 21 because it's harder, and you guys, I'm going to let you do 19 because it's easier. All right? So here we go. Ready? Caleb, you with me? Zanaya, you with me? Jalen, you with me? Who else is following along with me? Faith with me? Okay. Taj, you following along with me too? All right, so this says 1 over a plus b over a divided by 1 over b. Well, these are fractions with the same denominator. So I can simplify that to 1 plus b over a, right? That's what this means. All divided by 1 over b. So I'm going to rewrite that as 1 plus b over 8. The fraction bar is a division symbol, 1 over b. Those are equivalent statements. Does that make sense, Caleb? Does that make sense, Taj? All right, so now I have a division on dividing fractions. So what is the rule? What did we say on Tuesday? How do you divide fractions? Do you remember, Zanaya? What's the rule? Good. Keep, change, flip. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep the first one, 1 plus b over a, change the multiplication, and flip this fraction. And now we're going to simplify it. So that just means now top times top over bottom times bottom. So that's going to be b times 1 is b times b is b squared. All over a times 1, which is a. And you could also write this as b squared plus b over a, which is actually preferable, but either of them are correct. So all you're doing is combining what you can combine, then rewrite it as a division problem without that fraction bar, then do your keep, change, flip. Does that make sense, Faith? Does that make sense, Jalen? Alright, so you guys want to try number 19? Try number 19 and then we can do it together if you're getting stumped. Tyrese? Will that top part simplify? What will this top part simplify to, Tyrese? 1 plus 1. What's 1 plus 1, buddy? 2. Yeah, okay, there we go. Remember, this means division. The fraction bar means division. So that's where you go from there. Did you already finish it, Jacob? No? Okay. Let me know if you guys finish it. I'll check your answer for you. Let me give you a hint here. The next step would be 2 divided by x over 9. You got yours? Come up and check it. Yay, good job. Awesome. Did you get it, Jacob? You did. You did. Good job. They look so hard, but Kayla, did you get it? Jalen, did you get it? Oh, close. Close, close, close. Okay, so it's not 1 plus x here, right?
It's 1 plus 1.
Okay, yes. So hold on. So you got to go from here, so it's 2 over x plus 9, right? So that's 2 divided by x plus 9, so we're going to turn that into a fraction, right? So what do I do from here?
You change it?
Keep, change, flip, so it's 2 over 1. What do I change it to?
0 times
Times, good.
9 over x.
9 over x. Let's see what you did. You did 9 over 2x, right? So you added them first, all right? So now it's top times top over bottom times bottom.
Oh.
Okay, you were close. Good try. Okay? Let me know if you're looking through them and you see something that looks like you want me to help you set it up. We've done 3 of them now together. Oh, 4 of them. I lied, we did 4 of them. Remember, if there's a division symbol, that just means keep, change, flip. You're gonna keep clean split before you find any of excluded values. If that's ever something they ask you to do and you're dividing, you keep clean split first, then you find the excluded values. Sydney, do you have paper out, honey? Okay, open your book up. You're a lot more likely to use it if you've got it open to a blank page. If you're really putting in some effort, you should not have a blank piece of notebook paper. So, I'm not demanding that you use that, but I can look at your paper now, and if you don't have anything written on it, I know that you're not really giving your best effort. There is some stuff to write, because you're solving equations for some of it. Exactly. Well, but you can put on your paper what you put on the calculator, right? And that's the way to check yourself. Korea is I forget her name. Haji? The translator that's helping you? Is she here today? Oh, okay. Alright, well, I'm gonna stop this recording.